For me right now it is the 28th of December 2024. To me it feels like it should be the 28th of December 2023. It does not seem like a whole year has passed in any way, shape or form.
Really cannot believe that it's tomorrow. Been waiting for it and waiting for it, but finally it's happening. Tomorrow, with Trans Plus, I finally have my first appointment. It's Wednesday the 5th of November and I have to be there in London tomorrow at 2. So I don't have to be there early or anything. And cheaper on the train, I suppose. Seriously. But going all the way to London's gonna be a nightmare. The last time I was there was 2016. And it was so hot and sweaty on the underground. Really don't know how people can regularly travel on the underground. Why pay so much money for a heat box underground? The start of, September, I got a phone call from someone from Trans Plus saying that I'd be transferred over to them from the Tavistock hospital because I'd been waiting so long for it, so long for the referral to go through and to get my first appointment. Trans Plus took my case on, and then in between now and September I've had a few phone calls and emails, them asking questions and everything like that about me, if I've had any kind of diagnosis or surgery before now. I haven't. I've not even been re-diagnosed. No surgeries, no hormones, no nothing at all like that. And that's what they wanted to know. They gave me a consent form to give to the GP, for the GP to fill out. For the GP to fill out, to then, for that consent form and medical information to be given to Trans Plus. And my GP have actually done it. It takes forever for them to do anything, but they've actually done it. And about a week ago, I got a phone call from Trans Plus saying that they're going to give me my first appointment, which is going to be tomorrow at 2 in London, like I've said. And I just cannot believe it at all. And it was like I was in the Reading town centre in a shop, and I got a phone call, and I walked out the shop when they said first appointment, and the GP had done what they needed to do, and I accepted it. I got off the phone and immediately started crying, because I don't think normal people actually understand having to wait and wait for so long for something that you need to have. But saying that, they did offer me an appointment for last Tuesday last week for 9 AM, but I was like, for last Tuesday at 9 AM, but I'm not even gonna try to get to London for 9 AM when I live in Reading, and it's just gonna be so much more money for earlier on that I was like, can I have a later appointment? They came back with tomorrow at 2 PM. Genuinely being forced into waiting years and years to get a diagnosis and treatment, it kills people. It really does. Is it any wonder the suicide rates are so high? Actually give the people what they need. Regardless of whatever it is, give the people what they need. But realistically, all I'm trying to do is live my life, and that's it. Realistically, I don't expect anybody to be watching this video, but hopefully at least one person is. But I'm just making videos to show people what transitioning actually does for people in terms of helping people, and the damage it can cause to people who don't get it or have it or have to wait so long to have it. I'm 23 and I still look and sound like a 12-year-old, which explains my voice and why I've never made videos before. But I just can't believe at all that this is happening for me. It's all going ahead and starting tomorrow. I don't think my last video made much sense, so I'm going to try and explain it better for anyone watching, although I doubt anybody is watching. But my name's Franco. I'm a 23-year-old trans person living in the south of England, and a few days ago I had my first Trans Plus appointment, and it went exactly how I thought it was going to. Basically 2 hours of talking to a nurse who seemed really nice and helpful and respectful and everything like that, as they should be. And you know, it's really nice guy. And now my second appointment is the 15th of December, so not that long to wait at all. And really, it's been 5 years since I was referred to Tavistock, but because everything's messed up with that, Trans Plus took over some of the referrals, and well, I was one of them who they took from the waiting list because I'd been waiting so long. And finally it's happening for me to be able to get what I want and what I need to have. And anyone who says trans people don't need this, they absolutely do. And that Prime Minister of England seriously needs to stop saying what he's been saying, because it's not true, not in any way, shape or form. But something about being referred to this place, I can start actually being me and not having a 12-year-old's voice, which is what I currently have. I think I might go with the injections for hormones and testosterone. So I try my best in trying to explain everything. I don't know what they're doing behind me, probably something with water or something. But September 23rd this year I got a phone call from Trans Plus basically saying I'm going to be transferred to them from Tavistock and Portman in London, and I'll try and put the emails on screen so you can see them, and if you want to read them fully then try and pause the video so you can obviously read them. And then the 25th of October I got another phone call basically asking questions. Some person at Trans Plus was just asking me questions and getting general information from me, and they wanted to give me a consent form to give to my GP to fill out, to give some general information to Trans Plus, and they needed that before giving me a first appointment or any appointments at Trans Plus. And the GP actually did it, and I'm so surprised that they did, because it takes years. Feels like it takes forever for my GP to do anything at all. And then a few weeks after that I got another phone call saying that I could have my first appointment at Trans Plus. And there's a shop here in Reading, it's a vintage shop, and I was in that shop looking at stuff, not buying anything or anything, and I was just looking, got the phone call, had to walk out the shop, and then they gave me the first appointment, which was a few days ago, and put the phone down, and I was genuinely stood there in the middle of town centre just crying so much, because this means so much to me, to be able to transition and be me and everything like that. So yeah, and realistically I wasn't going to say no and reject the appointment, but the first one that they came to me with was last week on Tuesday at 9 AM, and I really was not going to try to get to London for 9 AM when I haven't been to London since 2016, and it's 9 AM, so the train will be more expensive. I haven't got a lot of money, and I just don't know how they think some people can pay for the train and get there for 9. So I asked them for a later appointment, and they came back with last week on Thursday at 2 PM, and I immediately said yes to that one. And yeah, unfortunately one of my parents went with me, which was not good at all. And I know you don't know me or my family or my parents, but they're not supportive of this at all, and it was because of them that I had to stop going to the Tavistock when I was younger. And when I was younger I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria when I was like 11 or 12, and then not long after that my parents refused to let me go to it. And hopefully that was the only time that one of my parents will go with me. Really did not want them to go, but unfortunately they did. Thankfully they weren't in the appointment with me. It was just me with the nurse. So yeah, hopefully the next time no parent, just me. Just looking at my calendar, I've just realised that it was realistically from first contact until first appointment with Trans Plus, it was about 8 weeks. and I'd been on the waiting list for Tavistock Hospital since 2018, and I had no contact whatsoever from that hospital, and now I've been transferred to another place. It's 8 weeks. Like, how can they seriously not do this for people who need medical attention? Like, I don't get it. Something has to change. Something needs to change. People need to know who they are, have a diagnosis, and if that requires anything medical, then they need to have that done, realistically. And I just can't believe in any way that I'm actually being able to start something to actually be who I am. And I genuinely didn't think that this would happen, and anything like that, and I'm just finally gonna actually be who I am out in the world, rather than having to hide constantly. Yeah, I might be repeating myself a little bit, but I'm trying to just get through this and do it. But it was about the appointment the other week, it was about £30 for a train ticket, so it was a lot less than what I thought it would be. I thought I'd be spending about £100 Reading to Tottenham Court Road in London, and I got there about an hour before the appointment, so about 1 I got there, and it was a good thing I did get there before, because the people, there's so many people in London, is unbelievable. It's probably at least 5 times the amount of people that's here in Reading, and they're so, the people are just trying to get to where they're going, not looking or paying attention to where they're going or anything. And thankfully I actually found the Trans Plus building quite quickly. It's on Dean Street. I'll try and put a picture on screen and everything. But the train I got on was the Elizabeth line, and it went Reading to Tottenham Court Road with a few stops in between and a few stops after, and it was so clean and tidy, and you couldn't get basically a nicer train in a way. I'm not one of those train spotters, by the way, but just a clean, tidy train is what I'm not used to. Reading is Reading. If you come here, it's dirty as hell, and I'm not lying. I am really annoyed because I saw Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club, always wanted to go there, always wanted to see the building, but I didn't get a picture of it, and I'm so annoyed about that. Eventually I'll be able to go in and see a show. But yeah, I might be repeating myself, which I think I've already said before, but the whole appointment was 2 hours, and I was just talking to a nurse about me and my life and my upbringing, with things like how and why I thought I was trans and how I knew I was as well. And it just went exactly how I expected it to go, just a conversation really. And yeah, so my next appointment in December, it's going to be with a different nurse, I think, and a doctor, like a psychologist. I think that's what they said the doctor was. So I will absolutely be sure to take pictures, maybe videos, I'm not sure. But generally, hopefully all of this will go through with no problems or disruptions like what happened last time when I was about 12, which is actually about 10 years ago, because I'm 23 now. I was diagnosed when I was 11 or 12, and that was 10 years ago. Like 10 years from first diagnosis to starting the process again of transitioning and going through it is mad. You wouldn't get this for any other medical thing or medical diagnosis. You just wouldn't at all. you wouldn't expect a dyslexic person to wait this long for a diagnosis. What I'm absolutely going to do at that Trans Plus appointment on the 15th of December is I'm definitely going to have a walk round. I think the appointment's at 10 or 11 in the morning, which I don't mind. And I think it might be 2 hours again, which isn't bad. And then I think Dean Street is right next to Chinatown. I think it's Soho in London, so I'm just definitely going to have a little walk round. Not use any of my data 4G before the 15th of December. Get to London. I'll get to London maybe an hour before the appointment. Have a little sit down somewhere, maybe have a coffee or something. Go to the appointment, do it, and then get out of the appointment and then find somewhere to have food and definitely have a look round. I'm not going to go far away from the station, but yeah. Definitely not going to go miles away, but let's just see what happens, really. It's the next day after my appointment, and I'm just gonna talk about what happened in my appointment. So yes, on the 15th of December I had my second appointment with Trans Plus in Soho in London, and at my first appointment the nurse said that my next appointment was going to be with two separate people, one a nurse, one a doctor, and that appointment was basically going to be 2 hours of going in detail even more about me than what the first appointment had been. And I can for sure tell you that it did go into more detail. And leading up to my second appointment, I was just very nervous and anxious and had a bit of anxiety about it. And this was just because I didn't really know what to expect in a way, and that I'd been through this process before, but I just couldn't exactly remember everything that happened before, because it was like 10-13 years ago, and it was with the Tavistock and Portman Hospital, not with Trans Plus. But what I can remember about it was going there, and it was like I was feeling very defeated and deflated because I didn't think I was gonna be believed at all, and what I was saying I wouldn't be believed. And it was just how I was being treated by the people there as well. And in a way, at my first appointment I was so open with hope and possibility, because I was finally getting to be seen by people who could tell me for sure if I was actually trans, and I was going to be given support that I need by trained professionals who see LGBT people on a daily basis. For me, it is exciting to go to Soho, as it's somewhere that I've always wanted to be, or always wanted to go to, but never been before. And I'd always wanted and imagined to transition medically, but over the years I genuinely became so convinced that it would never happen and I'd never be seen, and I just would have to live my life how I was living for the rest of my life. And realistically, since 2019 I have been living on borrowed time, and I will explain what I mean by that in greater detail in another video. I haven't made it or recorded it. I don't even know what I'm going to say in it, but it's going to be made eventually. But what caused me so much anxiety was that I didn't at all plan for me to get to Soho, and I didn't have enough time to actually think about what sort of questions they would ask at this appointment. It's just, for me, it was a lot of, it was just a combination of feeling ill with a cold and being anxious and a bit depressed as well. But I just wasn't thinking properly at all, and it really caused me to spiral a little bit. But that's just how I was feeling leading up to my appointment. During the appointment, I seriously didn't think I would have started crying during it, but it was nothing to do with how I was being treated. The lady couldn't have been nicer. It's just, we were talking about how things have gone in my life, how my dysphoria makes me feel, what I do and don't do because of it. And it just was such an emotional conversation that it was bound to happen. And I really don't think that actually travelling to Soho was as bad as I had imagined it to be, but it did still get to me quite a lot. And I managed to get into London at about 10:20 a.m. when I was supposed to be there at 10 a.m. And for me, the hour that I was supposed to have before actually walking into Trans Plus, I was really gonna try and think about the appointment and prep myself, but things like who the doctor and nurse were gonna be, what questions they were gonna ask, and how long the appointment was gonna be. And when I got off the train, I felt like a complete headless chicken, really. And the train was delayed and there was so many people on the train. I really needed the toilet and I just didn't know where I could go, and I was just all over the place. And I didn't want to get into Trans Plus earlier than what I needed to be, but I just had no choice but to go in there straight away, get checked in, go to the toilet. And yeah, I mean, it is what it was, but I think I was only waiting about 5 minutes when this very nice lady came through to ask me to come through to the room where the appointment was going to be held. I can't even talk. I didn't know if the lady was a nurse or a doctor, but it was only her in the room, and I'd imagined that this appointment to be with two people, not one, but I suppose these things happen, really. And the lady was the nicest, sweetest person. She was so understanding, calm and gentle. To me, this is exactly the kind of person who needs to be doing a job helping out trans people to medically transition. And in the room she took me to, we sat down and helped. She had all her notes written down on an iPad, and I think she could see everything that had been spoken about in my last appointment. We first spent a little time talking about my last appointment, and then she was just getting the sense of who I was as a person and making sure that everything they had on me was correct, and it was. And we went through talking about my childhood and talking about how things were for me. And I don't want to get into too much detail about these things, as I don't want to make this video 3 hours long. But when it started as being a child, going into a teenager and everything that comes with that, how it was for me all the way through school, and talking a little about the things I did for hobbies. Also, she asked about when I started to socially transition, what things I did and didn't do, when I started to use my preferred name pronouns, and when I started to present myself outwardly as male. Then we moved on to what I was doing now in my life with what I wanted and expected out of medically transitioning, and what I knew about medically transitioning. And I told her what I knew, the options that were available and what I'd heard online. I asked a few questions and to get clarification on some stuff. We went through hormone therapy and what it does to the body, and a little bit about top surgery, and she gave me an information booklet about it. This was essentially the end of the appointment, and in total it took about 2 hours, and I think there was potentially more that happened in the appointment. It's just I was so overwhelmed that I've slightly forgot. But at this point, at the end of the appointment, I believe that she could see how distressed I was in my life and just how much I personally needed to transition. She actually did a little thing on her iPad, which then got sent to the on-site pharmacy. Then she explained to me that I could clearly understand what hormone therapy is and what it does to my body, and she believed that me needing it was genuinely true, that she gave me a prescription for a low dose of testosterone, which I really didn't expect to happen, but she did give me the low dose of testosterone so that I could get used to using it and start getting into the routine of giving it to myself. And I was given Testogel, which is the gel form of testosterone, which I would put on myself on my upper arms and stomach every day at the end at around the same sort of time. So for me, December now has a good quality about it. The 15th of December is now when I can say I started hormone therapy. And once she had completed the form on her iPad, she explained to me what's going to happen next at my appointment, what's going to happen at my next appointment, and other stuff that Trans Plus can support me with. And my next appointment's going to be in about 8 weeks, which is the first week of February, I think. I just have to wait for the confirmation email, and I wasn't given an exact day, but I should try that I was going to get my third appointment. But a blood test is going to be done for me, and they're going to try and get me to go to a support group all on the same day. It sounds a bit complicated to me, but I'm hopeful it will go through. But I can't at all believe that was everything that happened at my second appointment, and I'm just full of cold at the moment, which explains the way I am, and probably I sound slightly snotty, but hopefully you watched all the way through. Hopefully you're gonna like and subscribe to this video. I'm still getting used to being on camera and recording and everything like that. Today now is the 18th of December. I've now been on testosterone for 4 days or so, and when I was at my Trans Plus appointment on the 15th of December, the lady that did my appointment gave me testosterone because she could clearly see how upset and distressed I was with the way I am. She gave me a low dose of testosterone, which is what I have here, and it's the gel form of testosterone. not the injections, because even a low dose of that, I think it would be too much for me to go straight onto it to get used to it. No medical reason behind it. I've got no medical problems, but this is what I was given, if you can see it there. And I put the little sticker on the top that says the 15th of December 2023, which is the first time I opened this. And I've got 3 of these boxes in total, because it's a 3-month supply, and I believe it's all going to be done through Trans Plus, so I'll have to go there to get this. But I'll try and sort it out where I can get my GP to give this in case I need more of the testo gel and I'm not going to be in London, because it costs between 30 and like £50 for a train ticket, so a lot cheaper for me if my GP can do it. They'll give me the prescription and give me the testosterone gel. I know for sure that this won't sort out or solve all of my problems, but I know for sure it can help out with quite a lot of them and reduce my stress and anxiety and everything like that, and I can just start to become myself and be more confident with myself and everything that goes with it. But I'm gonna put this on. It says 1 pump daily, about the same time every day, must be gently spread onto clean, dry, healthy skin with a thin layer on both shoulders and upper arms. Do not rub into the skin. Allow the gel to dry to 3 to 5 minutes before dressing. So the past 3 times I've done this, I haven't taken my t-shirt off to do it. I've just put it on my upper arms here and a little bit on my shoulder. Not sure if that's right or anything, but this time I'm going to take my t-shirt off to put it up higher, maybe up here and then down to here as well. So that's what I'm going to do, just taking it out of the box. And this is what the bottle looks like. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, I don't know, but that's what it is. That's just the other side. The sticker looks slightly different, but yeah. And to me, this stuff kind of a bit smells like and has the same consistency as like hand sanitizer. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, it's definitely got the smell and the sort of consistency of it. But yeah, you can't obviously see anything lower down, which is good because I've not had top surgery or anything, but that was something that the lady discussed with me at my appointment. But I got myself baby wipes because I don't feel like I need to have a shower every single time. I had a shower every single time for the past 3 days, and I don't think I need to have a shower every time basically. So I just got these baby wipes and I'm just gonna clean or wipe over my shoulders like this. Now I'm gonna do the other side quickly like this. I have tried to film me doing this and talk about it and explain it, but the videos haven't gone through and the quality's been terrible when I've tried to edit it, because they've got to upload and then download and then put onto the software that I'm using at the moment, which is quite basic, and it all uses the internet, and the internet in my house is quite bad and all of that, so it didn't quite work. The first time I did this, I didn't film it at all because I was just too excited and didn't want to film it in any way. But I feel like I maybe have put too much on, even though it says 1 pump, and I pushed the top bit all the way down. So I don't know if it's all the way down or half or whatever, but that's how I'm doing it, and hopefully it lasts a full month. But yeah, so you got the top here, and I just push it all the way down, and yeah. Oh god. So yeah, I've just done it, and I feel like that went a lot better than the 3 other times that I've done it. But that's just gonna be it, really. Like, I'm just gonna get better at doing this. I'm gonna get used to doing it, even though it's something that's quite simple. But even though it's only been 4 days since taking it, I feel like my voice has changed, even though that's probably me thinking that, and that it's not actually happened. But I feel like my voice and my like voice box, whatever this is like tightened, if that makes sense. And obviously at the moment I've got no Adam's apple, so that's obviously going to be something that is going to start to appear. I don't know how long it's going to take on this testo gel, I don't know, but hopefully it's soon rather than later. But I think testo gel, it takes longer for the effects to go through and everything like that, and this is a low dose, so only time will tell, really. And like my jawline, you can see like here and round is still quite feminine, and that's obviously going to start to change. I'm obviously going to start to get facial hair. I mean, I've got like this has already been here. This hasn't appeared in 4 days. I've had this for at least 10 years. Like when I was probably 10, 11-year-old, I've had this. So that's not new. I know my nose is going to change. You can't really see my eyebrows at the moment, but they really need shaping and trimming. But they're obviously going to get thicker and fuller and all of that. And obviously my hairline, I don't know how well you're going to see it, but that's quite forward, and it's something that I've always hated, and it's why my hair in my videos hasn't been done, because it just doesn't, I don't like it when it's like, I don't like it when my hair's been done. And because I usually would put gel in it and push it back, but I haven't been doing it for probably 2 years because of literally just my hairline being forward. And yeah, obviously other things are going to change. My body shape's going to change. Hopefully I'll fill out, and I'll put on weight as well, and I'll start eating food more, and hopefully my anxiety will become less and less, and I'll be able to eat more food and all that kind of stuff, and just start to properly look after myself and just start becoming me, rather than just being stuck in the past of just me hating myself and all of that lovely stuff that happens. But yeah, it does say to wash hands with soap and water. I've just wiped my hands with a baby wipe, but I will wash my hands properly after this. But I just feel so much better having testosterone and being on it, and I just can't believe in any way, shape or form that this is finally happening for me. And it really does feel so good and euphoric that I've got it, and I won't be stuck in the past like I said, but I just can't wait for what the future brings. And hopefully the more times I go to London in Soho, the more relaxed I'll be as well, because I was just all over the place last time. It was slightly better the first time I went there because I had someone with me, and I just don't really have anyone really. So I'm definitely going to put that on my list of things I need to do. Find people that are like me, that are trans, and just other people that are in the community as well. There's a support group where I live, or near where I live, and the lady at the Trans Plus appointment said that there's a social group in Trans Plus, and I'm not gonna regularly go to it because it's London and it costs £30 to £40 for a ticket, and I haven't got that much money, so it's unfortunate. But maybe there's like a live stream or web conference thing that happens that I can get myself into. But yeah, I'm gonna write everything down that I want to do, and next year I'm definitely going to be ticking some of the stuff off and getting it done and doing it and getting through things, and that's it really. Something that I really desperately want to have is my voice change and get deeper rather than being this horrible high-pitched squeaky voice, and it clearly doesn't match what I look like in any way, and it definitely does give me away that I'm trans more than anything else really. And I will make videos more about me and my life and everything like that, because I feel like I haven't done that yet. There's like small snippets of information about me, and that's about it. But my voice definitely needs to change, and I really want to have like a full beard and at least a bit more facial hair. I mean, I have got like a few baby chin hairs. That's not from testosterone gel. I've had that already, and I don't know where it comes from, but I've already got it, and I feel so amazing about it. And I know I've been told that I look better without a tash. I have shaved it off a few times, but to me it just feels like me, and I'm not used to me without it, and I don't like my face without it, and it just makes me feel better about myself, and it's the only thing really that I have that makes me feel better about myself really. But yeah, the 15th of December officially marks the day I started tea, and I was so excited about the fact that I had testosterone in my bag the whole day when I was in Soho on the 15th of December. I just couldn't at all wait to get home. So excited to get home because I had testosterone in my bag, and I just really wanted to open it up, see what it looked like, put it on, and say to myself that I'm officially on tea. But you have to put it on at the same time every day, or around the same time. And I was just thinking to myself, what time of day is best for me and for me to remember to put it on? And I was like, I usually have a shower around 7-8 p.m. I don't do it every day, but that's usually when I would have a shower. So I'm clean and tidy, and yeah, like it's evening time, so I know I'll be home more than likely at the moment at 7-8 p.m. So I didn't want to do it at a time where I knew I would be out of the house. So I'd have to have it in my bag and have to take it with me wherever I was going. And the job I want to do and get into is barbering and hairdressing, like cutting people's hair. That's what I want to do. And I was like, I know hairdressers and barbers can be really busy, not every day, but they can be fully booked or be cutting hair non-stop all day. So if I put it on at 10 a.m, well, more than likely I could be working at 10 a.m. and that's not really gonna work, is it? If I'm having to do something every day at the same time, 10 a.m. or just during the day isn't gonna work at all. So I was like, 9 p.m, that's when I'm gonna be at home, more than likely. And the times I've got written down on this bit of paper is 9, 9:20, 9:10 and 9:20 and 9:20 p.m. So that's the times I've done it at the moment, and I've written it down so I know for sure that I have taken it and to remind myself to take it. Because if I didn't write it down and have it written down and have the piece of paper in front of me, I knew I would forget to take it and when to take it. So it's a good thing that I have it written down, and I know full well what's going to happen to me on testosterone. I knew exactly what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. I know the changes that are going to happen, and realistically they need to happen for me to be me. And there's going to be a lot of people that don't understand, and they won't understand and everything like that. But I'm a fully grown adult who knows full well what's going to happen with taking testosterone and doing anything else that I'm going to do in terms of transitioning. I've been socially transitioning since 12. It's made me significantly better, feel better, and everything that comes along with it. I will make a video or videos about social transition and all of that, but for right now, this video is getting and having testosterone. But yeah, I'm a fully grown adult. Well, slightly, I'm 23, so it's not like I'm 16. But saying that, at 16 I knew the same stuff as what I do now, so it's quite clearly obvious to anybody that I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. I'm not gonna regret it or anything like that at all. It's just I'm taking full responsibility for me and my life, and I can finally do that being over 18. And when I was under 18, getting parents' permission to get referred to a trans medical service wasn't gonna be a thing. I mean, it happened when I was 11 or 12 or 10 years old, but it fell through because of them. And yeah, London's London, we don't live there, but realistically this is something that certainly should have happened, and I absolutely would have had a significantly better life than what I've had now if I was able to transition medically sooner and at an earlier age. But there's nothing I can do about it now. I'm older, I'm an adult. Yeah, I still live with my parents. There's nothing I can do about that at the moment. It's too expensive to move out. I can't even drive because of how much money it costs. But hopefully when people start to see this and view this and subscribe and watch and pay attention, you can start to maybe support me with stuff. You can donate or give if you want to, on my Ko-fi page. You can see it on screen. I'm not forcing you to do it. I would like you to do it. Yes, it's true. I am just really needing support at the moment, and that money that you give on Ko-fi will be going into me having drinks and food and maybe driving lessons and things that I actually need to have in life. So if you have spare money or anything like that, it would mean a lot to me if you could help in some way. I'm not expecting it, but it would seriously help and make a difference and make a change for me. So now I've officially been diagnosed with gender dysphoria at the age of 23, and it gives me so much relief and less stress at the fact that I'm now being believed in what I'm saying by medical professionals who are trained gender specialists. So realistically, they are people who know whether or not people are telling the truth or not. I've been officially diagnosed with being or having gender dysphoria. So I'm officially now trans. I'm not saying at all that without a diagnosis, people aren't trans, because you actually need to feel and have the effects of gender dysphoria first, to then go to the GP to talk to them about it, to then get referred to the gender specialists. This is just like proof for me. Don't think or believe that I specifically am trans. I can legitimately prove that I'm now trans, and I have the letter here. It has been folded a bit so you can't see certain information, but here it is in all its glory. So glad and grateful that I've been given this opportunity to have the appointments with gender specialists at Trans Plus and to be given this diagnosis. But the letter just essentially says like who Trans Plus are, who the people they've got working there, and it just says, following my original referral to the Tavistock, my referral was being transferred to Trans Plus in order to be seen sooner and quicker. He's now been removed from the waiting list for the Tavistock GIC. I've been diagnosed with gender dysphoria following a 2-part assessment process involving an initial assessment appointment with my colleague, who's a registered nurse, on the 16th of November 2023. In this assessment and my subsequent second assessment, we discussed with me my history of gender dysphoria, social circumstances, mental health, medical history, family history, as well as the gender affirming interventions I've already accessed and those that he wishes to access. We have been able to formulate a treatment plan as detailed below. Basically for me, what I've already done so far before I went to Trans Plus was I've basically done as much social transition as possible. I mean, I've done everything in terms of that realistically. I've had my name legally changed since 2019. I only get referred to as a female name and female pronouns at home by my parents because they don't at all listen, pay attention, or even at all care about any of this realistically, which is so annoying and just gives me so much pain. All of that. Anytime and every time I've had a job since 2019, I've been called by my preferred name, preferred pronouns, and just been reasonably accepted for me being me. There's been a few complications and hiccups with it, and not everyone has seen me for who I am. They're just those type of people, really. I'm not gonna try and force people to accept me for who I am. Realistically, those people are just people that I was around when working. It was very unlikely that I was ever going to be like friends with them or anything like that, so they were just never important to me in any way, shape or form. And if you're not going to listen and learn, then realistically you're not my type of people or person at all. So I present as male full time. I wouldn't ever imagine presented myself as female, and that is just my choice, and this is just what I am personally comfortable with. I'm not at all comfortable with female clothes or doing anything that's typically female, and this is just me and my life and my experience of being trans and just life in general. But the letter goes on to say, following endorsement for hormone therapy by an NHS service provider, hormone therapy is generally commenced by GP with guidance from the gender service in order for service users to commence hormone therapy in a timely manner. We have prescribed and dispensed hormone therapy with Trans Plus. We will have follow-up appointments with him every 12 weeks, and once he is stable on his regimen or sooner in certain circumstances, we will write to you again to request you take over prescribing responsibilities. So essentially what they said at the appointments was, for now, Trans Plus is going to do everything in terms of doing what they need to for me being trans. GP is going to do very little in terms of giving me what I actually need, because I said to them that it would be a bit better this way. My GP is completely useless. They don't do anything. They never do anything on time either. With taking hormones, you really need to do things quick and on time, otherwise you'll just mess everything up realistically. I just have no confidence at all in my GP. I think they're just gonna mess everything up here. That's what they're gonna do. I know me going to Soho is expensive, and I know that eventually at some point I'll stop going there for these appointments and they'll stop prescribing me testosterone, and it will be my GP that does that. But I just have no confidence at all in my GP. Just useless, really. I am slightly gonna miss having to go to Soho every so often. It seems like a nice place. I mean, I don't know where anything is there. I'm sure I'll get the hang of it eventually. Realistically now, no one can tell me that I'm lying or making this up when I legitimately have a piece of paper telling me that I have been diagnosed with gender dysphoria, which is a thing that you have when you're trans. That is the medical diagnosis. So to any and all of the haters out there, this is real, this is genuine. People are genuinely trans and they're not at all lying about it. It is definitely a real thing that should be taken completely seriously. I don't understand why anyone would deliberately go out there and be hateful and spiteful and teach their kids not to be respectable individuals and go out there to cause harm towards people, because it is so just completely despicable that people go out there to hate on people, and I just don't get it, don't understand it. It's not something I would ever want to do or would ever do realistically. People are trans and that's just the way it is, and it is a real, genuine, recognised medical condition where there are things that people have available to them that they can do in terms of making a trans person feel better about themselves and giving them exactly what they need to have. Not every trans person goes through medical transitioning. It is purely and utterly down to how their own gender dysphoria affects them. For me, realistically, I need to have testosterone, I need to have top surgery and maybe even bottom surgery as well. So basically I believe that I need absolutely everything that I can get in terms of transitioning medically. That's it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one, so follow along and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. This is really weird. I've never been on Zoom before, never used it. Don't really know how it works. I'm guessing it's similar to Skype, but it just says waiting for the host to start the meeting. Am I supposed to have the camera? Yeah, well, the camera is now on. I just realised that it wasn't on. It's 9:30. My appointment is supposed to be now. Yeah, 31st of January, 9:30. I don't like this. I'd rather be doing it in person rather than on the internet. It was supposed to be scheduled for 14th of February, but for some reason the doctor's not going to be there on that day, so we've had to do it like this. This just seems really annoying. It's 9:31. I hope I'm not waiting and waiting and waiting for this. Thinking about it, I don't think my laptop camera has actually ever been turned on, so this is going to be the first time it's actually going to be used for anything. I seriously don't like this waiting. Sorry, that was my chair, not me, but I just can't stand waiting and waiting. I do need the toilet, so I'm debating on whether to go now or not. But I don't want to get up and leave and then it just start. But I think I might do that. Made it back and nothing's changed on the screen. Hello?
I don't know if you got my email, but the Zoom isn't working, so I sent you a Teams link.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. Are you waiting on the Zoom?
Oh no, wait, I've got it now.
You got it, brilliant.
Yeah.
You can join me there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you in a second.
Okay, that's alright. So it turns out the Zoom's not working, so now it's a Teams thing. So I'm not downloading an app or anything like that. It's just going to be web browser version of the app. It's loading. Why does technology fall apart? I don't know. She called me Frank. That's not that different from my actual name, but not my actual name. What's going on with my hair? I don't know. I feel so nervous at the moment. I don't know why. I've just joined and it's on and I'm waiting. Hello.
Hello, good to see you again. I'm so sorry about the Zoom. I can't get it to work on this computer for some reason.
It's alright.
How have you been?
Alright, yeah.
Yeah? How are you getting on with testosterone?
It's alright. I take it at like 9 p.m. So
Yeah.
I can put it on and then like obviously I'm like almost ready for bed sort of thing. That was my idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And you know about types of surgery? Different. Is that your phone?
Yeah.
It's probably alright.
It says trans plus.
Can you answer and tell them you're on the call with me, but thanks.
Oh, it's just ended. Didn't get to it in time.
No worries. They'll have seen my frantic email saying, please call Frank, I can't get through.
Yeah.
No problem. So, great. Well, I hope to see you. I'll be around and about in the building.
Yeah, that's all right.
So if you've got any questions, you just drop us an email, okay? And we will wait to hear from you about surgeon, and then we'll get that letter sent off.
Okay, that's all right. Thanks.
All right, Frank. Good to see you.
I've done all of that now. I had to change my shirt because I spilt my drink, but I've done my appointment online finally. First time I've ever done that, as I've probably said, but it's actually less stressful than what I thought, but I was still so nervous because I wasn't even entirely sure what the appointment was going to be about. But you'll find out eventually what that appointment will be, and that video will be made and it will be uploaded hopefully Thursday the 18th of February. I've changed my schedule slightly, so it's sometimes Mondays, but regularly on a Thursday and a Saturday rather than a Wednesday, Saturday. I'm just trying this out. I don't know if it will work, but let's just hope it will. I'd be doing it for about 2 months or so, so we'll see how it goes, and thankfully the internet didn't crash or die, because my internet's really bad, and somehow my computer has stayed working rather than broken, because it's a bit broke at the moment, like my phone. But it doesn't really matter, I'll eventually get a new one at some point, and I hope to see you in the next one. I feel so nervous at the moment, I don't know why. Hello.
Hello, good to see you again. I'm so sorry about the Zoom. I can't get it to work on this computer for some reason.
It's alright.
How have you been? Great, well I hope to see you. I'll be around and about in the building.
Yeah, that's alright.
So if you've got any questions, you just drop us an email, okay? And we will wait to hear from you about surgeon, and then we'll get that letter sent off.
Okay, that's alright, thanks.
Alright, Frank, good to see you.
I've done all of that now. I had to change my shirt because I spilt my drink, but I've done my appointment online finally. First time I've ever done that. It's actually less stressful than what I thought, but I was still so nervous because I wasn't even entirely sure what the appointment was going to be about. But my appointment was about top surgery and getting top surgery endorsement from the doctor, which she did. And during the appointment, she was going through all of my medical history and family history and all the different types of top surgery that I can get. There's one typically more for people who are bigger chested, and then there's one typically for smaller chested people. And I am fortunate enough to be a smaller chested person, so that it seems simpler for the doctors and for the surgery to do that. And I'm not saying either one is simpler than the other, but I hope that the surgery is going to be quicker for me because I haven't got much in terms of tissue. Hopefully it can be done quickly, smoothly, and with zero complications at all. That's all anybody wants, and it's certainly what I want as well. I genuinely can't believe that I've got this far already and that it's actually gonna happen for me. I mean, there's so many different things that I can't do because of not having top surgery, and I know it's a big thing to recover from, and I fully expect that, and I fully know that, and it just means that I'm going to be spending a bit of time at home laying in bed, not doing very much for a bit after the surgery, which I don't mind. I've got a year to wait for the top surgery in London. I've got a year to prep everything. I can just get everything prepped and ready for it. When I had my last appointment on the 15th of November, I was given this information booklet about top surgery. And essentially, like I've said, everything in that booklet was what was told to me and explained to me by the doctor in my appointment that I've just had. And it was about getting top surgery endorsement. So now I have a year of waiting to actually get top surgery, and it's so amazing that I've got to this point already, and it's already February, like when this video goes out, and I just can't understand where the time has gone. Realistically, it feels like yesterday that it was Christmas, and it's already been New Year's. The whole of January is already gone and flown by. Where realistically has the time gone? I genuinely feel like this year is going to go so quickly in an instant. I just want to have the surgery, get recovered, have no complications, and it just be over and done with, so I can get out there and start living my life properly rather than being very, very limited in what I can do. And that, because I don't want to be living like this anymore. I'm 23. I've wasted most of my life as it is already. I don't want to keep on wasting any more of my life.
Hello. I like the sense of humour though.
They have a large hazelnut latte.
Large hazelnut latte. Would you like to buy one last Valentine's gift? Come on, £5 goes to Costa Foundation to help.
I'm
us.
okay, thanks.
Okay. No food?
No.
Okay, $4.70. Large hazelnut latte, please. For free drink, yeah.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, can I have those two and a decaf tea, please?
Yeah, I've made it to the train station. I have to go to Soho just to have a blood test to make sure everything's alright. I doubt that there was any kind of problems at all, but it's just a blood test that they do just to make sure.
This is the train to Abbey Wood via Canary Wharf. Next station, Twyford. In the interest of safety and security, CCTV is in operation on this train. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Tottenham Court Road. To Abbey Wood via.
Well, that was a exit entrance that I'd never been through before, but thankfully I'm out of that train. There was God knows how many people on it, and I think that there was an underground train that had been delayed or was part closed, and obviously half term. That's why there were so many people on it. But I desperately need the toilet, so I'm going to find one and then come back to you. But I was so confused about where I was because it was a completely different exit that I came out of. But I've just been to the Burger King round the corner, gone to the toilet, and now I'm just wondering what to do, working out where I am and all of that. But it's about 12 lunchtime-ish, and I don't have to be at the blood test until about 3:40 sort of thing. So I'm just wondering what to do and where to go. For food and that, I don't want like McDonald's or anything like that because I can get that where I live. So I might have to find something that I wouldn't normally have or that's not normally in Britain. So yeah. For saying that, I know what I've just said, but I've just seen a Starbucks and I've always wanted to know what a London Starbucks looks like, so we're going to go in there to see what they have. Well, I say I've just noticed a Starbucks, I now can't find it, which is fun, isn't it? But I'll remember where it is. I'll try over here. Yeah, I was right, it is over here. It's a bit windy at the moment, but I've just found it, so that's good. I have had Starbucks food before, but not that many times, so it's not really the usual thing I'd have. So I've just sat down in Soho Square Garden, I think it's called. I managed to find it without using maps. Unfortunately, I'm sat right next to a bin because there's quite a few people sat on the benches, so there isn't another one free, and it smells quite funny as well. Hopefully I don't get a wet bum from sitting on this bench. But I got myself a decaf latte and a mozzarella and cheese toasty thing. This will do for me for now, so I'll eat this and then get back. It seems like you can get lost quite easily and quite quickly, and that's quite nice. I seriously don't think I could live here, but I'd like to spend a few days overnight here so I don't feel like I'm being rushed around at all. Hopefully I could do that in the future at some point. But there's been this little golden spaniel been walking around, and it actually came up right close to the camera. I'll try and play it for you now. You can tell it's Valentine's Day because my cup has got this written on it, and I quite like that. They obviously pre-did it, so they know that people can have cups with things like that written on it, because obviously it's going to get busy. It's going to be busy anyway. Probably their quiet time is busy time in a Reading Starbucks, but thankfully those days are behind me. But if you can in any way, shape or form, please can you go over to Ko-fi and give what you can. This little dog, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, look at him, or her, I don't know, but that dog is so adorable. I want him. But there's the little dog. It's a long head sausage dog. It's so cute. Look at him. Oh, I think it's been let off the lead. Is it gonna come over? Oh, look how cute the dog is. And this one here wants to play. It's spotted that dog. I feel so calm and peaceful here. And realistically, in all honesty, it's things like this that have saved me from myself. And having a coffee or a tea, regardless of if it's small, medium, large, or decaf or full strength, it's this that realistically I genuinely believe has saved me and helped me so much and steer away from negativity and all the bad stuff people can do to themselves because of how much they hate themselves. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day today at the moment. This is going out a few days later. I think it's still about 1:30, so I've got a little bit of time left until 3:45 when I have my blood test. Really relaxed at the moment, and I feel my anxiety's got a lot better and it's calmed down from being, even though I know as soon as I leave here it's just going to jump straight back up again. Any options from a coffee shop and being sat here seriously helps relax me and calm me. And I don't really know how to exactly describe it, but it's just so relaxing. But the sign over there down this road I'm about to go to says Dean Street, so I reckon that's going to lead to where Trans Plus is. Yeah, I'm definitely going the right way because I can see like the lanterns for Chinatown. I'm in exactly the right place. So follow it, seeing that sign, Dean Street, and following it was the right idea. And for my Valentine's this year, I've had a blood test and now I'm having some sort of vaccine. The guy's just gone out to get it and he's actually Portuguese. Really nice guy. So yeah, this has been my Valentine's for this year. So I've got a email come through and we're going to have a little look at it to see what it says and see what it means for me. But it says, referral acknowledgement. Please see attached letter with regards to your recent referral submitted to our team. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. NHS Arden and Greater East Midlands Commissioning Support Unit. No idea where that is, but I'm sure I will find out. Let's go down. So the first one says Arden and Greater East Midlands Commissioning Support Unit. Trans Plus GIC referred you to the hospital shown below, Nuffield Parkside Hospital, London. Referrals are sent to Nuffield Parkside Hospital in batches at their request to help to manage the flow of referrals to the hospital. Please be assured this will not affect your place on their waiting list. Once your referral has been received by Parkside Hospital, they will make contact with you to discuss the next steps of care. If you require information about your chosen hospital, please contact us on the below number or via email. We are unable to advise on your position on the waiting list or average waiting times for surgery, but the doctor that did my referral said that it's about a year, but I expect to be waiting over a year for this, but hopefully it can be done quicker. If you want to change your referral to another provider, if you wish to be referred to another hospital, please contact the Gender Dysphoria National Referral Support Service
support line via email or phone where you can provide you with further information and support. If you would like to cancel your referral, if you want to cancel this referral, please contact us on the GDNRSS support line via email or phone. Yours sincerely, GDNRSS team. I don't think I will ever need to cancel it, but let's just see where this hospital is. So 53 Parkside, Wimbledon, London. But this is Nuffield Parkside Hospital. I've never been to Wimbledon before. I've been to Wembley, but it's not the same place, I don't think. And I've just noticed it's right next to Wandsworth, which I only know about it because of Wandsworth Prison. And then this has got Putney, and then it's got the River Thames, and then it's not too far away from Battersea and Fulham. But obviously in real life it's going to be a bit further away than what it looks like on the map, so I've got that to consider as well. Tooting Market and Tooting Beck over here, and that is something that I've heard of and wouldn't mind going to, but it depends on how long I'm in the hospital for and what time of day I'm there, because I don't want to have to go to Tooting Market. If I buy stuff, I don't want to have to take it to the hospital and then have it in me with the appointment and then have to take it home. I'd rather do the appointment in the daytime earlier on and then have the rest of the day to do whatever it is that I want to do. But I don't have to buy anything if I don't want to. I just want to go there to have a little look around. What I really like is it's got this big massive bit of grass called Richmond Park, and that is something that I would definitely want to go to. And considering where I'm going to get my top surgery, it seems like the best place to be surrounded by a big green field, and then there's a little patch of grass right next to it, and it's got the little bit of water in the middle as well, as you can see. And then it's got AFC Wimbledon Stadium next to it. Hopefully there's not football on when I'm going to get the surgery done or for any of my appointments. But let's just see how long it takes me to get there. But let's just say I leave on a Monday at 8 AM. It says this is saying an hour and 25 minutes. So let's click on that one. It says Reading to Paddington, Paddington to Wimbledon, Wimbledon to Parkside Hospital. So 2 trains and a bus. Yeah, so it's not too bad really. That would be a bit of a pain for coming back from surgery if I was getting the train, but more than likely that is exactly what's going to happen. I seriously hope that I can get my parents away from bringing me back, because I don't want it, I don't need it, I don't need what they have to say in front of me and all of their shouting and all of that stuff. I know you don't know anything about it really, but I don't need them in my life, and it's just really unfortunate that I have to keep living with them until I get enough money to move, and whenever I do, I will be rid of them and gone with them. And believe me, there is so much stuff in my life that has happened with my parents that it would take God knows how long to get through, and unfortunately Jeremy Kyle was no longer on TV, so we can't do that anyway. So I will find out how much it costs to get there for a same day return ticket. Let's just go on Trainline to do that. I'm trying to work out if the last one's a bus. I think so. So it has to be Wimbledon, Reading to Wimbledon. So it says £21 standard or £35 first class, but then it says £40.70 total based on tickets they've selected. So it's an hour and a half, well, an hour and 33 minutes with 2 changes if we get this one. And then let's just say on the way back at the busy times, 5:13, and get back to Reading Central at 6:48. Let's press that one. Oh, it says £54. Is it split tickets, I'm guessing? But it says daytime return at the bottom, £40.70. That's how much I would need to get there. So I'd say between £30 and £60 roughly, because I don't have any rail cards or anything like that, because I don't need them. I don't get the train very often. I would book in advance, but the thing is I don't have that much money right now. I have no idea when I need to be there or at what time, and I don't have a printer at home unless you can collect them at the station. I don't want to have to do that. I'd rather go to the station, pay for them on the day, and then get them the same day. And I looked at the busier times because it's more expensive than the less busy times. So I want to get my expectations for the higher price, because more than likely I would have to be there for 9, 10, 11 a.m. and you obviously want to get there early enough to get there on time and spend a little time afterwards or just before in Wimbledon. So that's my idea, that's my plan. And if the trains are cheaper than the prices online, then I'll have more money to spend in Wimbledon. Basically, that's my whole idea. And there's Battersea right next to it, and Chelsea. So ultimately, what does it mean for me? It means that I have confidence in the fact that my referral has gone through for a start, and I have been acknowledged by the hospital that I'm on the waiting list and this is what I want, and they've given me information that provides me with the information that I need, and I have at least a year wait, like I've said before, which isn't a problem. I get and understand that waiting is part of life for trans people. I mean, I waited 5 years just to be re-diagnosed with gender dysphoria. Went to the GP when I was 18 to be referred to a gender specialist, and then September last year I was given my first appointment, and then September last year I had a phone call from Trans Plus saying that they would give me my appointments to be diagnosed with gender dysphoria and all of that. It took until November for them to get back and say, here's your first appointment, which thankfully it was a significantly short wait, as they said originally it could be over 6 months, but realistically I genuinely thought I had a minimum of 2 years at least minimum to wait. 7 years in total, that's how long I genuinely thought I would have to wait for my first appointment to start the process of being diagnosed with dysphoria. I seriously cannot believe that I've come this far already, and that I'm gonna be getting the next step of the process in a year's time. I can just relax, settle down and focus on myself, which is what I'm doing, and I've got things planned and lined up for me to do to get better at just life in general, but also to get the best positive outcome from the surgery when I have it. I'm trying to reduce any complications that would appear in the surgery, so I'm trying to get myself fitter, healthier for the surgery to go as completely smooth as possible. And this surgery for me is a seriously big thing, so I'm gonna realistically be constantly up and down, thinking about it, not thinking about it, worrying about it, being positive about it, and all over the place. But I am definitely learning to manage my anxiety and my up and downness, if that makes any sense. So I'm just on the bus now to get to Reading Central Station so I can get to Soho to get a new prescription of testosterone gel, because I'm increasing my dose to 2 pumps a day rather than just 1. Hopefully there's no problems at all on the trains or anything like that, and hopefully it's no more than £35 for a train ticket, because this bus ticket cost £4 for a return for me to get from where I live to town centre, so it's not too bad. So roughly £40 or so. So that's me off the bus. I'm just on my way to the station now. It's only a short walk, but I'm gonna get a drink in the Sainsbury's because I can't be bothered with coffee at the moment. Maybe later when I get to London, who knows, but I'm just gonna stop in Sainsbury's quick to get a drink and then off to the station. So I've made it to the station now, and let's go in to see how much the damage is for this train ticket.
Please go to counter bar.
Never return to Tottenham Court Road.
And you're coming back today?
Yeah.
So that will be 31.90 day travel code, yeah? So that allows you to travel on the everything.
Yeah, that's all right. Thanks.
Have a good day.
So that ticket cost £31.90 because it's after like 9:30 or something like that. So that's the off-peak time price. But I'm definitely going to go to the toilet before I get on the train because the train doesn't have toilets on it, which is annoying. It's the Elizabeth line train and I haven't noticed or seen any kind of toilet on that train. And it's over an hour. So let me just go to the toilet. But while I am on the train, I'm definitely going to look at places to go to get food that's relatively cheap because I don't want McDonald's or anything like that. Burger King's too expensive, so is Subway, but I'm sure I could find somewhere that's cheaper than most places and that I don't have to book it in advance and you have to pay for a table and all that sort of stuff. So maybe I could make it my little regular place to go to every time I have to go to Soho, but let's just see and see what happens and everything like that. But I do really think that it is annoying having to go all the way to London just for healthcare that I need to have, and like just to be able to go in there and pop in there to ask questions or to go to the support group that they have there would be so amazing for me to go to, and I'd get so much out of it, but I just can't do that because it's London and I live in Reading and it's not really that far, really, maybe an hour on the train, but it's just the cost of it. It's just what happens at the moment with being trans and transitioning. You have to go miles away to get what you actually need. And around here in Reading, there's two sort of like community hospitals that aren't 24-hour. And then there's Reading Hospital and then Basingstoke Hospital. I seriously cannot at all understand why one of those places doesn't have like integrated healthcare for trans people. Because Reading's a big place and it's not too difficult to get to any of those hospitals or community type places. So I can't at all understand why or how they couldn't do it. But I definitely think trans healthcare should be integrated into like normal hospitals and everyday hospitals to actually make it affordable and accessible for people. And I've been on testo gel for 6 months now, and I would really seriously like to go on injections now. But the thing is, I can't really do that because of the cost and how much it is to get to London, and the fact that I just don't really have a lot of money. And these injections, I would have to go there to start off with every 6 weeks, and then depending on how my body adapts to it, I could go to every 12 weeks and then every 16 weeks, I believe the lady said the last time I had a blood test. But it's just so annoying that this is what I have to do and what so many people have to do as well. And I know it's still a few months off yet, but there's top surgery that I'm going to go to in Wimbledon or Wembley. I think it's Wimbledon in London. And I was referred to the hospital in January this year, and there's a year wait. And I know January next year is a while away, but trying to get money together to save for it for me to get there is just seriously stressing me out, like all the other stuff. And I just really wish that this wouldn't be the reality of transitioning on the NHS. Having to travel miles away to a place that I've never really been to before, not really used to or really that comfortable with. And these people that are at the Trans Plus place are so nice, welcoming and everything like that, that I haven't really ever experienced that. Yeah, it was getting a bit noisy where I was, so I came in the station that, like I was trying to say, getting to London, paying for the train ticket, and then top surgery, the cost of the train ticket to Wimbledon or Wembley, wherever it is, whichever place I have to make sure I check when I get home, but just the cost of everything and everything like that is just seriously starting to stress me out and everything like that. And so I've just made it to Soho and I'm just on the escalator, and if I'm right, I've gone out the exit on Dean Street, so Trans Plus is literally just around the corner. so I can just go in there and get my prescription and then come out again, and it will be all right. So I won't have to walk very far. I'm coming out on the Dean Street exit and I'm just on the escalator. So I've just come out of the station there behind me, and right in front of me is the Chinatown lanterns, and TransPlus is right next to the lanterns. So that's the direction that I'm immediately going to head towards to get my prescription. So let's go. I do wonder how many boxes of testo gel they're going to give me, because usual 3-month supply is like 3 boxes or 3 bottles. So I wonder how much they're going to give me for having to do 2 pumps a day instead of just 1. I'm sure we'll find out. It's a good thing I haven't really got anything in my bag, because if it's like 6 boxes or 6 bottles, then I've got plenty of room in my bag for it. So I've just made it to TransPlus to pick up my prescription, and I've already seen a few pride flags already, but I'm going to go in, go to the toilet, get my prescription and then come back out. But I do think it's a bit funny now that coming into TransPlus, I just walk in and then go straight upstairs to whichever level I need to go to, and usually I go straight to level 1 to ask the receptionist there, and then they tell me where to go. But now I've just walked in, gone upstairs, I'm in the toilet, I've been to the toilet, and the text message says to go straight to level 3. This is level 1, so I've got to go up 2 more levels to get to the pharmacy. So hopefully this isn't going to be a wasted trip and they've actually got my prescription for me, and that there hasn't been some sort of mix-up or anything like that, because if it did, I've just wasted money and time and effort getting here for no reason if it's messed up. So hopefully it isn't and I can get what I need. But again, I just wonder how many bottles they're going to give me, because 1 box or 1 bottle of testo gel is supposed to be a 1-month supply for 1 pump per day. So if I get 2 bottles per month, that's presumably going to be 6 bottles. Almost there at 3. Here we go. Let's see what they say.
Awesome. And is it testo gel?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So did you have an appointment today, or are you just coming in?
No, just coming here to get this.
Just waiting on me, wait room. Give me about 10, I'll have that ready.
Yeah, that's alright,
See you
thanks.
soon.
So yeah, as the guy said, wait about 10 minutes for them to do it. They found me on their list, so thankfully the prescription's gone through and they know to do it. So that's what they're doing it now. They're just probably signing a bit of paper, going to the stock room to get the testo gel, and then pack it up and then print off a label to put on it, and then all that kind of pharmacy stuff. So gotta wait for 10 minutes to get my new prescription, and every single time I'm genuinely so excited for it. I have to like pinch myself that this is actually happening and I'm actually getting what I need and want to have.
Yeah, dose increase 2 points today, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it, thank you. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah, so I got my prescription here. I thought it was 6, but it turns out to be just 3. But that's probably because they gave me 2 bottles not that long ago when I had my last blood test. So that's probably why they've given me 3 bottles this time. So not 6 like what I was expecting or thought that was going to happen. But I've got another prescription for 3 months. Yeah, I just keep you updated with how things go and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm so excited. I got my testo gel again, and every single time, like I said, I get so excited about it and just so grateful for the opportunity to have this. And I just can't say how it really feels properly. So I made it here to Bracknell, so I know where I am and where I'm familiar with to a certain extent, instead of being in Wokingham. But earlier today I woke up thinking that I was going to go to London today, Soho, to get my blood test because I'm on testosterone and that's what you do. But most of the trains that went to or through Paddington, which is what I would need to get to Tottenham Court Road, there was cancelled, delayed, cancelled, delayed, cancelled, delayed, and all of that. And I was like, uh-oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to cancel this. I really don't want to, because it's 3 months since I've been there, and I like going there every 3 months. It's like my day out or something like that. I found a way to get to London Waterloo, and then it's 25-30 minute walk from that station to Soho and where I needed to be. I got on that train, well, I got a bus to town centre and then got on that train. It got to Wokingham and then it stopped there, and it said it was delayed and it's going to have to stop there for 7 minutes until the blockage is cleared or removed, or there's some sort of signal for them to be able to go through. And I was like, uh-oh, this isn't good. This train is London Waterloo via Staines. It's not going through Paddington, so I thought it wouldn't be affected, but it was stopped there at Wokingham for like 25 minutes or something like that. But I was like, this is Wokingham, the next stop is Bracknell, and I was like, I'm getting off at one of these 2 stops. And I just got off at Wokingham where the train was stopped and got off and got the bus here to Bracknell. That's what I've done, that's what I did. I'll show you what happens when I try to phone the phone number for TransPlus to get my appointment cancelled. It doesn't make sense. Every time I phoned this phone number before, it's worked, but this is what happens.
Thank you for calling. This is the Thamesnet Telecommunications Network. If you are returning a call you have received from this number, we are unable to connect you to the extension which made the call. We would ask you to wait until the caller tries again to contact you. Our network covers a large number of sites in London and in Surrey, so it's not possible to identify which organisation was calling you. Thank you for your call.
So that's what that says, and then I have another number for TransPlus and it says the same thing.
Thank you for calling. This is the Thamesnet Telecommunications Network. If you are returning a call you have received from this number, we are unable to connect you to the extension which made the call. We would ask you to wait until the caller tries again to contact you. Our network covers a large number of sites in London and in Surrey, so it's not possible to identify which organisation was calling you. Thank you for your call.
Then I think it just keeps going round and round, and then eventually it cuts off. But what am I supposed to do? The number that texted me my reminder for the appointment, I don't think I can phone it. But I'm going to try and find the email address for the nurse that did my blood test, so hopefully that gets through. I can't even remember her name, but if I go back to the last blood test results, that might work. I found it. Well, I found an email address. What does it say? I think that's the email address to contact if you've got any sort of problems. So I just copy and paste that. At least I found the referral acknowledgement from the place in Wembley, or at least that's what I think it is. But we'll have a look at that a different day. TransPlus blood tests, is this it? So that's patient coordinator. That's peer support group. No, it's not that one. That's just to get the train ticket reimbursed. I'll go in sent section of emails. Start, sent. Oh, I think I found it. I can't even remember the nurse's name, that's the thing. What's her email address? It doesn't say. But I just copy and paste the email address from this email, which I think is the hospital's or clinic's communication email. So I'm going to call it reschedule blood test appointment. So at the moment I've said, hi, today I have a blood test at 1:30 p.m, but I'm unable to attend due to multiple train cancellations and delays. I've tried to go through London Waterloo, but that one is affected. And then I've just put at the end, I would like to reschedule for another day, please. You can respond to the email or phone me on my phone number. Let me just copy and paste my phone number into it. I really should have done this inside, it's raining. If my phone dies because of the rain on it, it's my own fault. But there we go, I've sent it. It seems really late to do this, it's almost 12. And my blood test was at 1:30. Oh well. I couldn't get through to the number that they've given me. I've replied to the text message number that they gave me to say cancel when it says someone will look at it. But I've sent the email now and hopefully they've seen it. And the only thing that's come up is an automatic response, but they wouldn't get back to me straight away, would they? So let me just put my actual main phone in my pocket before it gets soaked or water damage. Now I've got to find my way home. So I'm getting on this train as a different way to London, as opposed to keep getting on the Elizabeth line, which I like and it's nice, but I just thought I'd find a different way to there. So I'm going to London Waterloo, and hopefully Google Maps was telling the truth and it's only, say, a 20-30 minute walk away from Soho. If not, oh god, I've made a major mistake. The other train, so this one takes an hour and 25 minutes and the other one, the Elizabeth line, takes an hour and say 5 minutes, but this one is actually cheaper, presumably because it doesn't go through Paddington. This one, it's going through Staines instead. But this one takes a whole 20 minutes more. But things like this really do set off my anxiety, and I'm literally shaking right now because there was people checking tickets and that, and there's about 4 of them just before you get to this platform, and I was genuinely so shaking when they asked me for my ticket and it was visible. I just need to get over myself, really. But let's get on this train. So I'm now on the train, and I like this one because the first stops are Early, Winnersh Triangle, Winnersh, Woking and Bracknell, and I know those places, and it's not too far away from where I live, so if something went wrong or I accidentally got on the wrong train, then I can just get off there and then come back, so it's relatively easy for me to do that. So I'm still physically shaking because of my anxiety being on this train. It's just what happens to me when I get on a different train or go into a different place that I've never been to or not used to before, but this is just what happens.
This South Western Railway service to London Waterloo.
I'm on the right train and I've got 3 minutes until it leaves because it's 10:05 and it leaves at 10:09.
Winnersh, Woking, Bracknell, Martins, Heron, Ascot, Sunningdale, Longcross, Virginia Water, Egham, Staines, Belton, Twickenham, Richmond, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo.
I like this one because it's not going through Paddington, so it'll be a lot cheaper, and probably it might be a bit more quieter, but who knows.
This South Western Railway service to London Waterloo. Early, Winnersh Triangle, Winnersh, Woking, Bracknell, Martins, Heron, Ascot, Sunningdale, Longcross, Virginia Water, Egham, Staines, Belton, Twickenham, Richmond, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo.
The next station is London Waterloo, where this train terminates. Please make sure you take all your personal belongings with you when you leave the train.
Do you want to do that for Waitrose as well?
London Waterloo, change here for London Underground service.
You said yesterday you'd rather do Waitrose than what's the other one next? Yeah, if I was to pick one up this Sainsbury's, because they're having a pay rise. Who's it next? Yeah, Waitrose.
Finish this journey.
Hello.
I'm so glad I'm out of that train. It was so long and it got so busy at around Woking and Bracknell that I just had to turn the camera off. And now I'm here in London Waterloo, and I just checked the time and it is now 11:39. So I'm just in the toilet at the moment, and this toilet's so weird. You've got the women's entrance one side, the men's entrance the other side, and I thought it was 2 rooms separated, but no, there's no separation between the 2 rooms. You can just walk straight through from one side to the other, which I think's a bit weird. I'm now outside, but that toilet was so weird. I literally almost went out the women's exit. I don't get it at all. Why is there no separation? I'm here in London at the moment going for my rescheduled blood test, and it's about a 25-ish minute walk from here to Soho, and that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully I can find my way there. All I know is I have to go over a big bridge, and then it's sort of behind Leicester Square, which is where Chinatown is. As long as I get to Chinatown, then go through, and then it's Soho, and then I'm right there for Trans Plus. So let's hope I can find my way there. And there's a load of people going under a bridge in front of me, so that's where I think I need to go. All I know is I really need a drink after that train journey. I don't think they give you very much time to cross over that bit of road there, and it looks really busy. But I suppose most roads in London are really busy. But hopefully I'm going the right way. Loads of people have come this way when they got off the train. Definitely not getting on one of those Boris bikes over there. Well, I've made it to a bridge. I don't know if it's the right one, but the London Eye's right next to me, so I'm guessing it is the right one. But that building right behind me there is the South Bank Centre, and if I knew it was this easy and this cheap to get to here, then I definitely would have gone to that Ruben K drag show that was here last year in December. So I think it was like £25 for the actual ticket and then about 25 for the train ticket, and I think it started at like 3:30 or something like that. And then say it's 2 hours, I would have been alright to get the train back and wouldn't have had to have stayed here. If only I'd known this, then I would have gone. But if he's back there at some point, then I definitely would have a look at going again, or going just for the first time. But let's just look at Google Maps quickly to see if I am going the right way. It says a 23-minute walk away, and I've got to go over the bridge that's right next to me, and then I will be near the National Gallery, go up a road, and then it's basically Leicester Square, Chinatown, and then Soho, so it's not really that far away. I didn't know it was this close. I thought it would be miles away. I didn't know this bridge was here at all. This is the first time I've noticed this and known that it was this close. But let's just go over the bridge. So I'm now in the middle of this bridge. The side that I'm looking at, you can see on screen, and that's what I'm looking at, and a boat is going past that says Uber boat. I didn't know that they did that. How much money has that company got? And then on the other side you can see is a railway station and like trains going past, like train tracks. Seems quite nice. All I know is I'm not a big fan of this bridge. It feels really wobbly and unsafe, and like it's gonna fall down straight away. But let's get to the other side without it falling down. And I think behind the railway tracks is another footbridge, and you can see the London Eye a bit better on that side, so maybe I should have gone down that way instead of this way. But we'll just have a little look quickly. I've gone a little bit further down than the bridge, and I've just gone under this like tunnel bit, and it made me feel really weird. And now I'm going through this like level, and it's got like what looks like office buildings, and it makes me feel like I shouldn't be here. And now it brings you out to this like station bit. It's weird. So many little side streets and access streets that doesn't really make any sense. Or at least because I'm not used to it doesn't make sense. So at the moment I have no real idea how to get onto the other side of the bridge, and I'm just going to look at where to go next, because I haven't got a clue where I am or which way I'm going. I think I've got the National Gallery in front of me, but do I go down that way or down the road that goes that way? I don't know. If I'm right, then I could go either down that road on the left or the road on the right. I'm next to Charing Cross station, so that was the station that I was just in. So by this, I'm going to go down the left road and then go right down Charing Cross Road. And if I'm right, if I keep going, then I'll end up by Tottenham Court Road station. But obviously I don't need to go that far, so maybe a little bit down it and then I'll be in Soho again. So that's where I'll just go. The way that I've just come from past the National Gallery, I've walked by so many countries' embassies or buildings here. There's so many buildings with flags outside, and it says like the country and then house or something like that. So I suppose they're all dotted around London somewhere. But let's keep going. Definitely getting my steps in this one, so I have to check how many steps I've done so far. Probably quite a few. The building in front of me looks really old. I don't know what it is or what it's for, but it just looks so out of place in a way, because all the buildings here in London, or at least most of them, are white, but this one's like old brick, and you can just tell it's old. But let's just check where we are and where I need to go. Turns out I made a wrong turn in and I went down St James's Street or road, and I've come up to the right way, or almost to where I need to be. And right next to me is Fortnum and Mason's. I've never seen it before, but that's a window of it, and it's like pink and got champagne bottles in the window. Maybe we'll go in there, but I just need a drink and food first. It's been over an hour since I've been here, and I've needed a drink since I got off the train. We'll find one. All I know is this is quite a distance to walk. I've only got a little bit left, but it's taken probably over an hour to walk 25 minutes or so. Definitely getting my steps in here. So I've just made it to like Shaftesbury Avenue, which is right next to Soho. But that's where I am at the moment. And now I'm in Chinatown. Let's get to Soho, because I think it might be a bit quieter in there, because the places I looked in for food and that, it was so busy. It was unbelievable, but hopefully there's somewhere quieter in Soho. Found a place to have food, and it was a McDonald's, and it took about 15 minutes for me to order my food to then get my food, and it was just so busy in there. And I'll just see how many steps I've done, presumably quite a lot. I'm just in Soho Square Garden now, because there's no music playing or anything like that in the background, which is why I didn't say anything or film anything in there. 8,711 steps. That is definitely my 5k done for today. According to Samsung Health, that is, it's 6.6 km, and that for this one I'm going to leave it just there. November 2024 was my next blood test. Again, the same thing, blood test, questions about am I happy with the testosterone, am I happy with the gel, changes I've noticed in the past few months, changes I like to see in the next 3 months. But then also in November the 26th 2024, I had my first appointment with Parkside Nuffield in Wimbledon, which is where I'm going to have my top surgery. I had that appointment. You can go and watch the video on my channel, and make sure you subscribe to when I have top surgery, and then for whatever other stuff that happens in my life. That was my gender transition recap, basically. It's been fun, and hopefully I don't get to stop doing it and going to London. That should give you a rough idea of potentially what to expect in your own transition, or if you're watching this to get information in general, this is just what has happened for me. But if you're a parent or a friend of a trans person, then hopefully this gives you some sort of insight into what happens with trans people. And again, this is just what happened with me, and me only. I can't guarantee that this exact time frame or scale or appointments will happen the exact same way as someone else. It was tough, and it was difficult, and it will be for anyone else going through this. It's not easy in any way.